Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good Sunday morning to you all, and happy Super Bowl Sunday. This is Storm Track 7 meteorologist Robbie Camidori. You might have noticed that wind yesterday. It was a bit breezy at times, and that allowed those wind chills to mostly stay in the upper 20s to 30s throughout a good chunk of the day. Now, the good news is, if you weren't exactly a fan of that, we still have temperatures, air temperatures in the 40s expected today, but winds will be much lighter, so those wind chills won't be much of a factor. As you can see, winds mostly blowing out of the north and west throughout much of the day today through the rest of the morning into the afternoon. We'll call them sustained around 5 to 15 miles per hour. But later on tonight, winds will switch out of the south and west, very light as you can see, around 5 miles an hour. So a pretty calm and quiet night is ahead of us, and wind chills won't be much of a factor, as I mentioned. Now, in terms of those sky conditions, we have seen this mostly cloudy, if not overcast sky at sometimes during the overnight period into early this morning, but I do think a lot of that clears out towards the rest of the afternoon, or later on this morning into the afternoon. Say around the noon time frame, we'll call it partly cloudy around that time, mix of sun and clouds, and later on this afternoon, I do think we've got a fair bit of sunshine in store for us as temperatures begin to bounce up into the lower 40s for many locations. Maybe you're getting ready to watch the big game as well later on this evening, but heading into the nighttime period, maybe you're getting ready for bed after the Super Bowl, say around 10 o'clock later on tonight. We should be under this mostly clear sky. Temperatures falling back down to the lower 30s and upper 20s. That should be around that range as well by the time you wake up to start the new work week on your Monday. Now, the good news is we'll still be under this mostly clear sky. We're staying dry. And I think a lot of sunshine is in store for us tomorrow as well. It's heading to the noon hour with temperatures already bouncing up into the 40s by that point. Plenty of sunshine in store. Now for today, before we get to tomorrow, of course, we still do have these above average temperatures. As you can see, these yellows, oranges, even some hints of red across a lot of the upper Midwest, indicating, of course, above average temperatures. Right here in eastern Iowa, temperatures will come about 8 to 12 degrees above average still. And that trend just looks to continue through at least the middle of the week. I'll show you that in the 10-day forecast in just a moment here. But before we get there, again, let's talk about today, the Super Bowl Sunday. Highs mostly in the upper 30s to lower middle 40s across the board. I do think we see some afternoon sunshine, at least before sunset, of course. Tonight, mostly clear, with lows dropping down into the 20s for most locations across eastern Iowa. Now, for your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City, tomorrow lots of sunshine. I think some high temperatures in some locations reach the upper 40s, so that's some good news, of course. Still in the 40s, lower 40s by Tuesday, but a little more cloud coverage rolls on in. And for that Valentine's Day holiday, of course, on Wednesday, I think we're back into the upper 40s, but that's ahead of our next chance of some rain and snow, possibly due to a clipper system. Still some questions with that, with the different data that we do look at. And same story for Friday. Some of that could linger around. Maybe it's a different system. That's something we're keeping an eye on right now. Otherwise, right now it is a slight chance. The weekend's looking like we dry out, but it does look like temperatures will be cooling off heading into next weekend.